The Communist News Network suffers another major embarrassment. An up-and-coming Democratic Socialist becomes the Candace Owens of the left. And Cosmo magazine celebrates body positivity by putting a morbidly obese woman on the cover. Coming up on Today with 2 Cents. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Today with 2 Cents, wrapping up your weekly news. Before we jump into the rest of the news stories this week, I do have to pay homage to the fact that Senator John McCain is no longer among the living.
Deteriorating in strength and delirious with pain for months, the Vietnamese only treated his wounds after they realized he was the son of a famous admiral.
I think you have a famous name, yes.
The Vietnamese would have an offer. They would tell him he could go home. They hoped it would be a PR coup for them, given how famous his family was. But McCain would refuse. He told them he didn't want to break the U.S. military code of conduct for POWs. The first man captured must be the first man out.
Plenty of other commentators have already talked about this, so all I'm going to do is briefly offer my 2 cents. Here are the facts. Senator McCain was indeed a prisoner of war in the infamous Hanoi Hilton. He endured torture and refused early release so as not to be used as propaganda by the North Vietnamese and to maintain solidarity with his fellow POWs. However, he was also an incompetent neocon who called for U.S. military intervention in just about every country on the planet, to include Iraq, Libya, Syria, Iran, even some vague threats towards China. Let's just look at those first two on the list. How exactly have U.S. interventions in Iraq and Libya worked out again? It seems that everyone talking about McCain's death either wants to hail him as a hero or dance on his grave. I'm not going to do either. All I'm going to say is that I respect him for what he did for his men in Vietnam. I condemn his foreign policy for the steaming pile of garbage that it was.
Hey look, Lois, the John McCain experience. I want to be president!
We all know that CNN will report anything that's remotely negative towards Donald Trump. But it turns out that when they report from anonymous sources, they just might be lying through their teeth.
CNN keeps telling everyone they're only concerned with facts, and that everyone else is just selling fake news. But they just got caught telling some really fake news, and to make matters worse, they're sticking by it. About a month ago, they dropped a bombshell of a story, which was all about how Trump's lawyer, Michael Cohen, had admitted in private that the president knew about the Trump Tower meeting between Don Jr. and some Russians. This was supposed to be the giant story from CNN. They presented it as such because so far everyone else in the story has denied that Trump knew about the meeting. So, CNN saying that Cohen said that Trump knew was a big bombshell for them. In their story, they cited an anonymous source for the news, that apparently Cohen told someone he knew Trump knew. I know, it's hard to follow the story, right? It's a big gossip chain, but try to stick with me here because it gets worse. Because they also said in the story that they contacted Lanny Davis, one of Cohen's lawyers, or Trump's lawyers' lawyers, and they said that Davis declined to comment on the story. Now, cut to about a month later, it comes out that Davis was actually the source for CNN's story. So in their story, they said that Trump knew about the meeting between his son and some Russians at Trump Tower because an anonymous source told them. And now Lanny Davis says he was that source, even though CNN said he refused to comment on the story. And now for the real bombshell. Lanny Davis says that no, actually, CNN got it mixed up. What he said, that Cohen does not know if Trump knew about the meeting, blowing up CNN's big bombshell. You got that?
Look, I know no one at CNN will probably hear me say this, but let me say it anyways. CNN, you were caught in an outright lie. The game is up. Just admit it and maybe you'll muster enough respect from the public to survive a little bit longer. However, you've demonstrated full well at this point that you're not a news source. You're a propaganda outlet defending terrorist groups like Antifa.
Antifa, anti-fascism, which is what they were there fighting.
Oh, they're the soft fascists!
And there's, no organization is perfect. There was some violence.
With Democratic socialists like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez as the new face of the Democratic Party, leftists have been all too eager to embrace fresh faces of similar political views, like New York State Senate candidate Julia Salazar. However, her own family has confirmed that the narrative she tells about herself is less than truthful. According to the New York Post and City and State New York, Julia Salazar has claimed to be a Colombian immigrant of Jewish descent who was raised by a single mother in a low-income household, she herself being a practicing Jew, although she vehemently opposes the State of Israel and stands in solidarity with her Palestinian allies against Zionism. However, Salazar's brother and mother have confirmed that she was born in Miami, Florida, that her father was a naturalized citizen well before Julia Salazar was born, that he made a six-figure income from his career as a pilot, allowing Salazar to live comfortably on a house by the river in Jupiter, Florida, where she and her brother each had their own bedroom. Her Jewish ancestry appears to be bunk, and it turns out that back in 2012, Julia Salazar was a Christian, pro-life Republican. However, much like the right has done with Candace Owens, no one on the left seems to care about Julia Salazar's unrepentant embrace of a clearly false narrative. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez herself has endorsed her and is sticking by her. Liars can always be trusted to lie, but if y'all on the left are okay with that, good for you.
Me, I'm dishonest. And a dishonest man you can always trust to be dishonest. Honestly.
Cindy Crawford, Kathy Ireland, Kate Upton. These are names we associate with beauty, and for a reason. But have you heard of Tess Holliday? Thanks to Cosmo magazine, a lot of people now have.
Plus-size model Tess Holliday can't believe she's made it to the cover of Cosmopolitan magazine UK. I'm literally a Cosmo girl. Can't believe I'm saying that. If I saw a body like mine on this magazine when I was a young girl, it would have changed my life, she just tweeted. Tess is getting lots of support from her fans, but the cover is also stirring some controversy from TV personality Piers Morgan. Apparently, we're supposed to view it as a huge step forward for body positivity. What a load of old baloney, he wrote.
If you followed my channel for a while, you already know that I fully support your right to make stupid and unhealthy decisions. If you want to, and you're not hurting anyone else. However, that doesn't change the fact that those decisions are in fact stupid and unhealthy. Being morbidly obese is not a smart or healthy decision, and while I don't think being overweight is immoral, it certainly isn't something we should be endorsing or calling beautiful. It's true that different people have different healthy weights, depending on a whole host of factors, but somehow I doubt that Tess Holliday is sitting at hers. If you're overweight, I don't think that makes you an evil person or subhuman or anything like that. How you live and how you eat is entirely up to you, but for goodness sakes, it's not beautiful or praiseworthy. As I've said before, if you're one of those people who constantly needs other people to tell you that you're beautiful, it probably means you don't really believe you are. Now, why might that be?
Okay, now I've prepared an agenda for our organization, what we want from the community as fat people with pride. All right, I think we got a lot accomplished here today. We'll pick this up again tomorrow.
Phew. Well, after that, Cosmo girl, how about a real hottie? The weekly hottie. Drum roll, please. This week's weekly hottie is model Toria Service. Boasting a 32 Triple D chest, Toria recently posted a review about how Plumeria swimwear holds up for a woman with such a bust.
I have 3 bikinis here to show you guys today, and I have to say, they have opened the floodgates and shown your girl a taste of the good life. First suit is called Trouble in Paradise, and I got the top in a size large, the bottoms in a size medium. I got this one in the nude color so that I could wear my no makeup look with my no. I don't love low-rise bottoms on myself, but luckily with these ones I can hike them all the way up my crack and cover my cup. Next up is the Antigua style, and this one says knockoffs of these ones from cheaper brands. It's a very, very popular style, and I can see why. It's absolutely gorgeous. This one in the ribbed white style, and it has molded cups and this deep V made with the wire that just makes you look like a snack.
And that's it for this week. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Also, be sure to check out my 2 cents on my other social media platforms. Feel free to leave a review on iTunes, and if you're able, consider becoming a patron. Even $1 a month goes a long way to helping make this show possible. And that is my 2 cents. Take it for what it's worth.